Hi, my dear friends. I'm here to talk to you about several conditions: chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, burnout, and fibromyalgia, four things. And you might ask me, what do they share? Well, you know that I'm a GP and I also practice anthroposophic medicine privately, whilst my GP work is within the NHS. And anthroposophic medicine allows us to look at things from a spiritual perspective. So in my experience, these conditions, they have a lot in common, spiritually speaking, and also symptomatically, a massive overlap, which, as you know, if you're watching this video, you know what I'm talking about. You are living this nightmare: exhaustion, aches and pains, depression, inability to function, and this can last for the rest of one's life. These are debilitating conditions for which in the usual medicine we have no tests. The tests basically are only used to exclude everything else. So basically you end up with condition that has no positive test, all the tests are negative. So we have to basically exclude other things. Tests are negative and there is no treatment. You know, you sometimes get the graded activity when you're pacing yourself, which is useful, but there is no cure, right? You end up often on medication that makes you even more tired, that can quite easily, you know, if you're on pregabalin, gabapentin, they can make you gain weight. And spiritually speaking, the gesture of those medications is that they kind of like knock you out of your body a bit like morphine type of medications. So there is no solution, but there is. And that's why I'm doing this video. This video is actually like a call for action, because I know and I see so many patients in my mainstream, in my GP capacity, so many patients who are leading this rather miserable life of exhaustion, pain, and hopelessness. And I have recently gone through several years of burnout, and this is where I feel the overlap is massive. So I want to tell you that there are solutions. There are, in anthroposophic medicines, we have plenty of medicines we can try, starting with oral medication and then, you know, external medication, and then we can progress to injections. And injections is nothing to be scared of. I have a video on doing subcutaneous injections. You can easily do them at home yourself. Maybe for the first time you want to get a nurse to help you and show you how to do it, but then you're going to be independent and just do it yourself for yourself. But you do not have to live this life of misery, essentially. And the other aspect of all of these conditions I want to share with you is, obviously in normal medicine we do not understand why this happens. There are some theories, yes, it may be triggered by a viral illness, etc., but there isn't a conclusive understanding of etiology or the causality or why. And no treatment. So anthroposophic medicine is really, really good for these conditions, because we know that the human being is not just physical body. We know that human being has got spirit, soul, energy, or etheric body, and then physical. So at least 4 components. And I have to tell you that in mainstream medicine, because we don't know or don't acknowledge the existence of the soul, we completely and utterly neglect the understanding and the seeing of what it is that's going on in the soul. And for most of us going through these conditions, and a lot of others, there is a lot of work that we need to do in the soul realm, because it's extremely rare that in modern life we have people who come in, or souls, spirits who come into earth for the first time. Most of us have been here before. And if you have been here before, you will have accumulated certain amount of karma, certain amount of trauma. And this is in addition to trauma from this life. So we have past life traumas. A lot of us have traumatic deaths that we haven't fully processed from past lives. Plus, we have bloodlines trauma. And you know, if you're honest about this, if you're spiritual enough, then our bloodlines, any given bloodline, goes way back to the beginning. And if you want to use biblical terms, it goes back to Adam and Eve. It's a very long bloodline. And the conflicts, unresolved conflicts that are still spiritually held within the bloodline, they work in us. They manifest in our soul. They cause problems. And all the unresolved conflicts and pain in the soul, it does manifest physically. Of course it does. Emotionally, energetically, physically. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done on the soul level. And I can guide you. I can. It may be therapy, but you have to be careful with therapy because just, traditional talking therapy doesn't cut it. It's 21st century. We have a lot of spiritual tools. I can point you to the spiritual tools. So basically, I just want to call you to action. Stop leading these miserable lives. You're destined for more. I hate watching people in pain when I know there are solutions. So what stops you from seeking the solutions out? If you haven't found the solution yet, it is not, a cause to quitting and giving up. It's a cause to look further till you find something. I know that you feel highly demotivated because you've been in pain and exhausted for a long time. Bless you. But there are solutions. Anthroposophic medicine, for one, gives you those solutions. So please reach out and get in touch and book an appointment. Many blessings.